Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at a brand new vehicle, in this case the brand new Saleen Sportstruck. This being the fourth and final vehicle from the recent paid DLC, the easiest way to get hold of it is to go to any garage, go to the buy and sell tab, go to car packs, and there you'll find the Horizon Racing car pack, which of course also had the Amira, the Pagani Huayra R, and the mad Nissan drifting thing, all of which I've taken a look at previously if you want to see videos on any of those. The pack's available for the very reasonable price, I think, of $3.99, so well worthwhile for 4 vehicles. Although, yeah, this one is the one out of the 4 that I'm least interested in, mostly because I have no idea what it is, and I thought the Sportstruck was something Clarkson drove in a challenge. No, that was the sports lorry, wasn't it? So, although I say I have no idea what this thing is, I can tell a couple of things just by looking at it, of course, and from the Saleen name, that gives me some idea what it is, which is essentially a tuned Ford truck, with many horsepowers, 700 of them actually, from an over 5-litre engine, which is just ridiculously massive. This power coming from a V8 engine, of course, and listening to it, I'm pretty sure it's got quite a big supercharger on it. But it also comes with many weights, 2,595 kilos of them in fact. It is of course still all-wheel drive, as the normal Ford truck would be, giving it a rather excellent overall PI rating of 666, which puts it right in the middle of B-class here in Forza. Being a kind of customised vehicle already, there are no manufacturer paint colours other than the blue, and there are no painting groups. In terms of other upgrades and customization though, there is the usual front bash bar that is now available on most trucks, and similar at the back we've got the new tent rack thing and the old style Forza truck aero, so there's a couple of options there. Let's actually put that on for the time being. There are 2 engine swaps, there's a V12 and another V8. If you want to do either of those. There's your usual rear-wheel drive swap if you want to ruin it. Otherwise, everything is pretty much as you'd expect. You can put off-road tyres on, but no other compounds. Interestingly, the new tyre profile options are not available for this, which is strange, because the new customization options are. But otherwise, I think it's all pretty self-explanatory, although there is an even bigger supercharger, but it only gives you 15 horsepower increase, so I'm not sure that's worth it. With full weight reduction, it's still over 2,000 kilos, so it's still, well, it's a truck, isn't it? It's going to be heavy or whatever. But yeah. So as I didn't really know what to do with this truck at this point, I just went and scrolled through tunes to see if there was anything that looked like it might be okay at something. And there's a Jumpy Aardvark A-Class cross-country tune, so I'm going to throw that on and attempt some online racing in this. I think we also need a bit of a respray before we go and do that as well. So with the tune and some purple metal flake paint, of course, applied, I was ready to go into the races. Loading again into the first race of an adventure. I'm not sure how I keep doing that. This time starting at the airfield cross-country, where I was mostly trying to chase down an X-Class Mercedes, which I believe is pretty good in A-Class, but also being chased by a Bone Shaker, which I know is ridiculously fast, which did an impressive aerial overtake as I tried to block it basically from overtaking, although he then died, I think, by missing a checkpoint. Either way, I wasn't going to be letting that past. If you're going to drive something like that in online, I'm not letting you through. Anyway, next up was the sprint, where I spent much of the racing chasing the X-Class and that Bone Shaker, but I wasn't quite able to catch them by the end, although I think I was definitely keeping up. I'm not sure whether I was gaining, but I finished 3rd overall after that. And finally we went to the urban cross-country circuit, where I got a couple of stupid wall slowdowns and funny landings, and after one of the leaps did slightly send it and kill the Bone Shaker. Not entirely intentionally, but it wasn't exactly an accident either. But if you're driving something like that online, that is going to happen, I'm afraid. I did also unintentionally kill a buggy near the end, which I didn't mean to do at all, which did give me a 2nd place finish, although Forza being Forza gave the Bone Shaker 2nd place. as if it wasn't OP enough as it is. Anyway, that was the end of that. So I think basically what I can conclude is that this is quite fast, but not as fast as the very fast things. Although, to be fair to this truck, I probably let it down somewhat because I barely ever do cross-country, and from the lines those two vehicles were taking, it looks like they do this quite a lot. So, yeah, it's reasonable, but I think it's a good sort of best of the rest vehicle that's not quite OP, but is still seems to be very good. That, though, is going to do it for a very first look at the Saleen Sportstruck here on Forza Horizon 5, the fourth of the cars from that paid DLC pack. Like I say, if you want to see videos on the other three, I've done those already, so go and check those out if you're interested in any of those other cars. As for the Saleen, though, like I say, it was the one I was least excited for going into this, probably because it was in a paid pack just after a truck month, so I've kind of got bored of many trucks coming to the game, and it feels very similar to a normal F-150 Raptor or whatever it's based on to me. So yeah, not terribly excited going into this. Has a few interesting options like you would expect on most trucks in Forza now. The only thing missing, I think, is the tyre profiles. In online, it seems pretty good, but not up there with things like the X-Class and Bone Shaker, which are, of course, ridiculously fast, but it is a decent one. Although, yeah, I don't do much cross-country, but I probably will use this again if I find myself in any A-Class cross-country races for any reason, because it seems reasonable, and I kind of want to make use of it, given I've paid for the pack. But yeah, as I expected, it was probably the one I was least interested in, although the Nissan I wasn't terribly excited about either. The Lotus, though, is of course still my absolute favourite thing from this pack, and is kind of the reason I bought it. But anyway, for a very first look at the Saleen truck, the fourth and final vehicle from that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.